guys, Nasher61 here today to just talk about some of the NHL 12 features they've already announced and want to kind of talk about how I think it will affect the gameplay. Just got some NHL 11 versus gameplay going on in the background there. That was a really lucky goal by him right there. So let's get this started. The first gameplay feature they released was the full contact physics engine. It's pretty much just going to change the way hitting occurs, I think, overall. They made it so size and strength actually make a difference in this game. For example, I know in the video they showed Chara getting hit, and rather than him being knocked over, the person attempting to hit him actually was affected more than him. I think that'll actually kind of help out the game. I know that could be a problem in ESHL. I think many people will just kind of make their guys as big as possible so that they can do things like that. But overall, I think it'll improve the game, especially because they've added the battle in front of the net, so the speedy guys will have an advantage in some aspects of that because they'll be able to spin off hits and avoid checks maybe more often, which I think will kind of balance out the hitting and speed attributes, hopefully. But along with the balance, they also made it so you don't fall over every time you get hit. For example, you'll be able to put your arm out and catch yourself sometimes, which I think will be nice for the guys that don't go for all-out hitting on their attributes. One last thing they did is now when you pull back for a slap shot, the puck is no longer magnetized to your body. It is now free to move. It's free to be poked or picked up, and I think that'll make slap shots a lot less effective, which is really nice. They're kind of easy to do in NHL 11. You just pull back and hit up really quick. So I think it'll be more difficult to get a slap shot off, and you'll actually have to time it correctly. You won't just be able to pull back at any time. The next feature they announced was the dynamic goalie system. The most important part of that is that goalies are now live. You'll be able to bump into them, knock them over, hit the net out of position, and I think that'll be a really interesting feature for NHL 12. Do too much and you'll get an interference penalty. That, I think, will be happening very often, especially in the beginning of NHL 12. You'll actually have to fight for a position of the front of the net rather than just sitting in front. The defense can't really do much to you. You'll be able to spin off the D, get a good screen in front, and score some goals. More to the goalie dynamics, they've added Goalie Fights, which is I guess that'll be pretty fun. Not really a necessary feature, but and then just some more goalie moves, new techniques, the VH technique, which will give them a better position to stop wraparound attempts. That's nice, I guess. Next feature they announced is the Anticipation AI. It's actually a really good feature. I'm glad they added it to NHL 12. Pretty much in the video, it just compares NHL 11 to NHL 12 and how the AI reacts. The puck is dumped in, and in NHL 11, you see Green get the puck, and Ovechkin doesn't switch to offensive mode till he actually reaches the puck. But in NHL 12, Ovechkin will read that he'll be able to get the puck easily, and he'll make his way up the ice beforehand. And that may seem like a really small thing, but I think it'll really help with getting nice breakouts out of the defensive zone and speed up the gameplay and just make it a little more realistic. Also, another thing with that, when you're rushing up the ice through the neutral zone, the AI will now actually be able to keep their momentum and stay on sides. In previous games, you just had to come to a complete stop to stay on sides, but now they've added it so you can just stick your leg out and keep your momentum going a little bit. I like all the features they've been adding that keeps the gameplay going quick and nice and sped up, and just prevents less stoppages, keeps it going. Along with that, they've improved the defensive AI. They say they'll be able to pick up passing lanes more easily and recognize when the change of possession is going to occur. Hopefully that prevents more easy one-timers, cross creases. Hopefully will be intercepted more often. I think that's just a good improvement overall. Next feature they released was the presentation and action tracker improvements. They've added the Winter Classic, which obviously will be pretty fun. Playing outside at Heinz Field will be a nice switch up from the normal arenas. It's kind of nice that they let you play the Winter Classic with every team, too. It should be pretty fun. Might play with the Jackets a few times on that. Also, they've improved their replay system, it sounds like. They say you can watch every highlight after the game, which is kind of cool. What I really hope they do get to eventually is a theater mode kind of thing. similar to Black Ops, Halo, games like that, where it'll just record the whole game for you. It'd be kind of nice if you could save full games maybe at a time, go back, get some replays, and upload them to the website. That would be a really cool feature, hopefully for future games. Another thing they've done is improve the stat tracking, which is kind of nice. I saw a picture that included where every shot was taken from the ice from each team, so that would be kind of cool to see, and I think that's just another good improvement. Now I'll get into more of the actual game mode improvements. This mostly goes for Ultimate Team and ESHL. And new for Ultimate Team is Ultimate Hockey League 24/7, which allows you to play against other teams, even when they're not online, just play single player against them. I'm not really a fan of the single player game modes. I usually just stick to online, but I guess that'll be nice for people that want to get better. They'll be able to play teams in the top 100 or play against their friends that have really good teams. And that'll just prepare them for online game modes, I guess. Another thing they've added with Ultimate Team, I'm really glad they added it. You can now just play your friends, and I would call them unranked games in Ultimate Team. They don't affect your players' contracts or anything like that, which is really nice because in NHL 11, I remember we just had to search for an online game, and it usually took a while, ruined our players' contracts, stuff like that. So it's kind of nice that you can just do that now. One last thing for Ultimate Team is you'll now be able to have multiple lineups, which is really nice because in NHL 11, I know the tournaments had really specific requirements. You know, your team had to be under a certain age, some things like that. And it was sometimes really difficult to always continuously switch your lineup around just to get in one single tournament, and then you'd have to change it back, obviously, once you're out of that tournament. So it's kind of nice that they allow you to have multiple lineups just to prepare you for, I guess, every tournament. And I'm not really sure how many lineups they'll allow you to have, but I'm sure there'll be plenty, and it should work out pretty well. Last but definitely not least for Ultimate Team is the introduction of Legends to the game. They've already unveiled all 9, I believe, of the Legends. They have Gretzky, Bork, Chelios, Roenick, Waugh, Yzerman, Slauman, Gordie Howe, and Lemieux. What I'm really interested to see is what their stats are. And how much they will go for in Ultimate Team. Will Gretzky be up for $1 million, or will there just be too many of them? I don't know how rare they're going to be, but it should be really interesting. Now I'll get into some of the stuff they've added specifically for ESHL. They've added, you can now have multiple position attributes, which is really nice. I know in NHL 11 this year, me and my friends in our club games, we often switch positions. Some of us don't really want to play D. We just switch in and out on that. And we wouldn't have our guys set properly for defense. And that'll be kind of nice because we often had to change up our guys just to play one single game of defense. So it'll be kind of nice now to have our guys preset for each specific position. So I'm really glad they added that. It should be really helpful for ESHL. Last piece of information on here, it says ESHL now has club scouting. I'm really not sure how that will work. The description says, one of the best ways to win a hockey game is by knowing your opponent. Now in NHL 12's ESHL, we will give you that ability with club scouting. This will allow you to view the stats of all human-controlled users on a team. What does that mean? I'm not really sure. I guess it'll just be more specific stat tracking, like I said earlier, which will help you find new players for your club if you need one. So that about sums up all of the NHL 12 new features and new improvements to game modes. I know I'm looking forward to it. I already got my season ticket ordered so I can play it early, so I'll be getting videos out for you guys. So just let me know what you guys think about all this. I'll put a link in the description to the information so you can read more into it, and I'll see you guys later.